How could you do this to me? My husband has asked me that question countless times. Every time it leaves me speechless. If you love me so much, how could you hurt me like this? The truth is, I don't know how to answer him. No explanation feels right. Not to him, not even to me. There's no justification that makes sense. No reason that doesn't sound hollow or self-serving. I do love him. I love him more than anything. And yet, I was the one who shattered him. Every day he chooses to stay, I'm in awe of his strength. But he doesn't know everything. He only saw a fragment of my betrayal, a single message to the other man, a romantic text, one I encouraged. That alone was enough to devastate him. But the truth is darker. The affair had already lasted over 4 months by the time he discovered it. We had been together many times. And in those moments, I convinced myself I was happy. My affair partner was romantic, attentive, everything I thought I wanted. At the time I was flattered, even mesmerized by the attention. But the day of discovery changed everything. The illusion shattered, and I was left staring at the ugly reality of what I had done. Now I carry the weight of everything he still doesn't know. Why did I do it? I don't know. I could blame circumstances. I was miserable, burned out, resentful. But millions of people in struggling marriages don't cheat. So why did I? That question terrifies me because I have no real answer. I tell myself I was a good person once. Maybe insecure, maybe struggling with self-worth, but still good. But now I see myself for what I am. Selfish, cowardly, willing to betray someone who gave me their whole heart. It's horrifying. The person I was during the affair isn't someone I recognize. Yet she was me. And I have to live with that. I try to rebuild my self-worth, but it feels impossible. Every time someone calls me a good person or a good wife, I flinch. My mind rebels. If only they knew. It feels like I'm living a lie, pretending to be someone deserving of kindness, respect, or love when deep down I don't believe I am. My husband said something recently that stuck with me. You can't undo it. But you can decide what kind of person you'll be from now on. You can choose integrity. I'm holding on to that. I can't change the past. But I can choose what comes next. I don't want to be a coward anymore. I don't want to be the person who hurts the ones I love the most. But the guilt is suffocating. There's a part of me that feels I should confess everything, lay myself bare so no one ever believes I'm better than I am. Every time I meet someone new, I feel the urge to tell them everything, to make sure they know the truth. That's how deep the shame runs. It overshadows everything else about me. And yet, despite all of this, my husband is still here. I can't fathom his strength. How can someone so wounded still see the humanity in me? How can he look at me with compassion when I can hardly bear to look at myself? I admire him more than words can express. But I know I've already destroyed something precious. He told me recently that he wants out. He says he regrets everything, including having children with me. That the only reason he hasn't left yet is because of them. Hearing those words broke something deep inside me. I've hurt him so profoundly that he no longer sees anything good in the life we built together. He looks at me as if I'm poison, and the pain I've caused is written all over his face. I've been struggling to hold myself together. The guilt, the shame, the self-loathing have overwhelmed me. But I'm trying to stay strong for our children. They didn't ask for this chaos. Some days, though, it feels impossible. I've had moments of despair, thoughts I'm not proud of. But I have to push through. I've started therapy. It's a small step, but it's something. I've been in such a dark place for so long, and instead of facing my issues, I escaped into something that only made everything worse. I love my husband more than anything. And I know how absurd that sounds. My actions don't reflect love, and that's what I struggle with the most. If I truly loved him, how could I have done this? That question haunts me daily. At first he said he might consider couples therapy. But now, the more I apologize, the more distant he becomes. We barely speak except about the children. We share a house, even a bed. But there's a wall between us, impenetrable. I don't know how to fix this. And I'm terrified I've already lost him forever. For now, I've decided to focus on being the best mother I can be. It's the only reason I'm still here. I owe it to my children to show up for them. But deep down, I can't let go of the hope that maybe, over time, I might earn a second chance with him. I know it's not guaranteed. I don't expect forgiveness. But I want to prove, through my actions, that I'm not the same person who hurt him. I owe him that much. Right now, though, feel lost. Living under the same roof as someone I've devastated is excruciating. I don't want to overwhelm him with apologies, but I also don't want to seem indifferent. I want to respect his need for space, but I'm afraid the distance between us is only growing. Then, yesterday he handed me divorce papers. Felt final. Overwhelming. But part of me knew this was coming. Things have been escalating for weeks. And yesterday, it all came to a head. When he came home, he was furious. He called me names, a liar. The same things he's been saying for a while now. But this time he said it was over. He told me he couldn't stand to look at me anymore. That I needed to leave our room. I went to the guest room, but something inside me wouldn't let it end like that. I knocked on his door, hoping to talk. Hoping I could calm him down. When he opened it, he was livid. He started yelling, and when I tried to stand my ground, he pushed me. I don't know why I snapped the way I did. But for the first time I fought back verbally. I told him I wouldn't have cheated if he hadn't been such a terrible partner. I regret those words more than anything. I have never spoken to him like that before. This morning I tried to apologize. But he didn't care. He called me a liar again, swore at me some more, and told me everything that happened was my fault. And maybe he's right. I don't know what to do now. Feel broken. I know I've destroyed him. And I don't think there's anything left to fight for. For now, I'm just trying to get through the day. Focusing on the kids. On therapy. On making sure I don't spiral. But it's hard. I don't know where to go from here. All I know is, I've reached the end of this chapter. And I'm terrified of what comes next.